Welcome to the entrance of the National Park Iguazu. We are in front of the entrance. We bought our tickets in advance. I'm going to leave you links in the description below so that you can easily buy your tickets in advance online as well. We came here by bus. The bus ticket costs you 3,000 pesos per person, which is around $3 each. And we are about to enter the national park now. I'm going to take you through the hike in the park. We are going to do a hike first and then later on also a little tour on the water. This is the most visited national park of Argentina, so I definitely recommend you to get your tickets in advance. You will be for sure able to enter it. We bought everything in advance, the entrance and also the activity that we are going to do in the afternoon. But let's go inside and have a look at the park from the inside. We now entered the national park and here you can see a map behind me. The plan is to do the hike that is here marked in blue. It is this one here, the Circuito Superior. From there we will get amazing views over different waterfalls, as you can see here. There's also a train that you can take that will take you to the Devil's Throat, but we aren't going to do that. It is closed today, so it doesn't make sense for us to take the train. But just in case you want to take the tour to the Devil's Throat, this would be a little shortcut and you wouldn't have to do the 2 hours hike in total. Anyway, we chose the blue trail today. That'll also take us around 2 hours. There are pathways where you can get amazing views over the waterfalls and I think it will be super beautiful. You are in the jungle, so keep in mind that you will also see animals here, of course. It is forbidden to feed them because the animals here are wild animals, meaning, first of all, it could be dangerous for you. You never know how they react. But second of all, it is also important to keep their natural environment. We are now at the central point where we are going to start the blue trail. Here at this place you can also go to the bathroom. This will be the last chance before you start the blue trail. So make sure to use that one here because it will be a 2 hours hike without bathrooms. We are now at the point where we are going to start the blue trail, the Circuito Superior. It starts right here behind me. We only walked a few meters and we already have a great view of the first waterfall. It is impressive. We are in the middle of nature, so I'm expecting to get a lot of more impressive and beautiful views. We are only at the beginning of our tour, but it's already super impressive to see those massive of water crash down there into the river. Here behind me we can now see a chain of waterfalls. These have a height of more or less 35 meters. The highest one actually has a free fall of about 60 meters. The waterfall with a free fall of about 60 meters is called the waterfall San Martin, and it is the second most important waterfall here in this national park after the Devil's Throat. The views are absolutely insane. I cannot wait to get down there later on a boat and get a whole different point of view of the waterfalls. As mentioned before, this is the most visited national park of Argentina, meaning it is crowded. I actually expected the worst. It is not too bad, only the viewpoints, of course. There are a lot of people here taking their photos and stuff. I think that is unavoidable that at the viewpoint it will be crowded, but the pathway in general is actually totally fine so far. We are back to where we started the blue trail and we are now going to start the yellow one as well, which is the Circuito Inferior. We are going to do that one. It'll take us more or less 1.5 hours. For the blue one we actually needed a little bit less than 2 hours, so we were a bit quicker and do have a little bit more time than expected now before we are going to start our activity, which is amazing because this way we can enjoy the second trail for today, which will be a little bit further below the other one, so we will get a whole different view of the waterfalls. By the way, there's also another place where you can actually have a snack. As you can see, there's a cage around it. That is simply because this way you won't be bothered by any monkeys or other animals and can eat your food without being interrupted. We are now a little bit into the trail and already have beautiful views of the waterfalls. Here behind me you can actually see the river that we are going to take a tour on later today, because we will take one of those boats that we can also see there in the background and do a tour that will take us super close in front of the waterfalls. We will definitely get wet, and I honestly cannot wait to get wet because it is super hot and humid here. A nice little tour that will give us a nice refreshing is highly welcome and highly appreciated. We are back from the yellow trail, the Circuito Inferior. It took us a little bit less than 1.5 hours, I would say. So we were a bit faster than the time they calculated here. It was a beautiful trail. What I liked the most was that at the end of the trail, you get super close to the waterfalls. You feel the water, which was quite refreshing since it is actually quite hot. The views are absolutely impressive. Make sure to come early so that you will have the time to actually do both trails, the blue one and the yellow one. We are now preparing for our activity. It is called La Gran Aventura. We are going to the meeting point right now and then we'll start the activity at 3:15. We chose the last one of the day. That is simply because we will for sure get wet. We will get on a boat and then do a tour very close to the waterfall. So of course we will get wet and we didn't want to be with wet clothes all day long, which is why we decided to do the afternoon tour. But also it is smart to bring some clothes to change afterwards so that you do not have to return to the city of Iguazu in the afternoon with your wet clothes. At the meeting point we had to exchange our ticket into paper tickets since we bought our tickets online. So now we have the real tickets which we can use to embark on the boat. We will take this jeep here behind me in a little bit and then drive to the port where we will actually take the boat close to the waterfalls. We are about to start our tour. We just entered the jeep and are now going to the port. We are now walking down the last stairs to the port. We already received our dry bag here. We can put all of our stuff, our bag and so on inside of the dry bag. Once we are on the boat, we can also put our shoes in there so that they will stay dry during the Gran Aventura. We just embarked on the boat. We are now ready to go on the big adventure. We've got some seats in the back and also a little bit on the upper levels. And I've heard that on the right side you will get a bit wetter. We are on the right side. So let's start the adventure. The river we were on also marks the border between Brazil and Argentina. Many people decide to cross Brazil here in Iguazu. The city of Iguazu is actually a border triangle of Paraguay, Brazil and Argentina. But for us, the Argentinian side clearly offers enough adventures for now. Also, I thought they would be taking us in front of the waterfalls, but when I saw that boat, I realized that we were about to get way closer than expected. Alright, I quickly have to talk about this adventure. It was super fun actually. I enjoyed this a lot. Now look at me. I am soaking wet from head to toe. I actually said before we started that it doesn't seem like people are getting too wet because there was a long line of people waiting for their truck to return. They just done this adventure and they weren't that wet at all. So I was like, it doesn't seem to be too bad. But I just realized we are actually in front of changing rooms now. There's a bathroom here and we are about to get changed. So it was not the real thing that I was seeing with those people. You will get completely wet, that is for sure. We were basically below the waterfall. Actually, not literally below. I guess if you would go below that waterfall with a boat, due to the power of the water, the boat will probably sink. But we were super close and we were getting soaking wet, but it was beautiful. It was super fun. impressive to see those waterfalls from so close, to feel the power of the water. We saw a lot of rainbows and we were getting closer to the beautiful and stunning nature of Iguazu. For me, this definitely was the best of this park. It is clearly a must-do if you come here, and it was definitely worth it to pay the tour of more or less $50 per person. It was a unique and exciting adventure, and I am super happy we've done this. I will leave you a link below in the description, so if you want to book your Gran Aventura, you can easily do that via that link. I'm going to get changed now, and then it's time to go back to the entrance of the National Park Iguazu. Alright, we are back at the entrance of the National Park, which means we are at the end of this tour through the National Park. For me, the highlight was clearly La Gran Aventura, our little tour on the water. That was simply beautiful and I enjoyed it a lot. For me, this is clearly a must-do if you come here to the National Park. I would recommend you to spend the whole day in the National Park. There are people who do even 2 or 3 days here in the park. If you do 2 days, on the second day you will get a discount on the entrance of 50%, which is quite nice. Also, you have the option to go to Brazil. This national park is close to Brazil. Actually, the river Iguazu divides Brazil and Argentina. We only stay on the Argentinian side because obviously this is a video of the Argentina series, so we aren't leaving the country yet. But you do have the option to also see the waterfalls from the side of Brazil. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this tour. I absolutely loved this trip to the national park and I'm happy we came here. It was a lot of fun and I highly recommend you to put this place on your bucket list if you are going on a trip to Argentina. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to drop me a like and also subscribe to my channel because we are not done yet. There will be more coming up here from Argentina, so I hope to see you in the next video.